I'm Markia.
Want to hear something scary?
Legend of the Qallupilluit. I live in an Alaskan hunting camp on the edge of a great lake. Some of the younger kids had been bugging me to play with them, but I had no interest, believing at 14 I was too old for such things. I wanted to stay at the camp by the fires. One of the boys, Panuk, went off alone muttering about collecting new rocks along the lakeside. After a few hours, his mother sent me to find him. It was time for dinner, and he shouldn't have been allowed to wander off alone, she admonished. Now I was annoyed with Panuk for getting me into trouble. As I stomped towards the lake, I was surprised I couldn't see him immediately. I scanned the shoreline impatiently, where I had expected him to be looking for more crystals to add to his collection. But there was no sign of him at all. "Panuk, it's dinner time," I called, the frigid air hurting the exposed skin on my face. Usually, the thought of food sends him running, but there was no reply. The area was utterly silent, the waters frozen in place. The first inkling of worry skittered through my stomach. Then, I heard an ominous knocking sound, and looking out through the mist, I saw an alarming sight. Panuk, standing precariously on the ice. "Panuk!" I ran closer, sliding on the frozen surface and covering my mouth with my gloved hands. The smell of sulfur was suffocating. What could be causing that stench? And then I heard the sound we all feared, the ice breaking. I stumbled back as a terrifying vision reared out of the water. It was a creature as large as a grown woman, covered in scaly, bumpy, grayish skin. It had a humanoid face, yet with exaggerated and hideous features. Large black eyes and a thin line for a mouth. Wearing a ragged amautik, a traditional parka, it had long, thick, dark hair that hung down its back. Terror froze me to the core as I realized the legends were true. It was a Qallupilluit. The snatcher of children had enticed Panuk onto the ice. The creature opened its foul, wide mouth to reveal rows and rows of tiny, razor-sharp teeth like a shark. It seized him, and he screamed. I ran closer, a sense of duty insisting I tried to save him. As I slipped and slid on the ice, I managed to grab a hold of Panuk's hand as the Qallupilluit tried to stuff him into the amautik. I pulled with all my might, but lost my footing at the last moment, my grip on Panuk's hand broken. Quick as a flash, the creature used this advantage to plunge under the water with the child. I caught a final O of horror on Panuk's face before he disappeared, the ice magically refreezing all around me. I continued to pound on the iced-over void, but it was no use. Panuk was gone. I wailed, anguish washing over me. I ran back to camp, shivering, and wept as I recounted the tragic incident. My mother wrapped me in furs to warm me, the sound of Panuk's parents sobbing furthering my guilt. I had failed Panuk. He was a victim of the demon of the water. But I would dedicate my life to making sure that beast would pay.